Yeah. I spit raps like a heart attack, fast fatal heart impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and packs. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're just freaked out. Get ready for defeat now, I'm gonna make you bleed out. Listen on repeat now and weed out all the weak now. Get up and make a change, don't remember yesterday. If you got something to say, speak your mind before your grave. Cause your life is yours to save, ain't nobody gonna change. Everybody stays the same, so be different, make a name, huh? I keep on moving forward.
Okay guys, right. So, as you saw in the beginning, this build is very powerful. It's fun. It's not the meta. It's not but I wouldn't say it's not busted. It's not abusing. It's not it's not bleed. It's not going with the new shit that's come out. It's just fun, right? It's just a bit of fun. Mash damage, big hammers. That's all it is. It's just fucking hit things with hammers. Enjoy some damage. This build, I have taken heavy inspiration from other builds on YouTube, on Twitch, other places I've seen. Heavy inspiration. However, I feel lots of things could be tweaked from their builds, which I've done here, to maximize survivability, change the play style to the way you want to play, increase damage further, everything. On this build here, I am level 166. However, that is not required. This can be done around 130. The stat allocations just need to be done differently. So, this is my 166 stats. As you can see, vigor, strength, and endurance are the fucking dump stats. They are the stats that every point should be going into nearly. I added a few into dex unnecessarily, just in case I wanted to experiment with a weapon that scaled a little bit more with dex. Very much not necessary. The faith increase, I solely did the faith increase just in case you wanted to use blood flame on your weapon armaments as a mix-up. This build can be done so many ways. It can be tweaked so many ways, and I'm going to be talking about all of them now. So, vigor, you need a lot of vigor. 50, I'd say 50 is the sweet spot. You need a lot of vigor, you need that HP, you need that survivability, especially if you start tweaking armor options, as I'm going to give you later on. Mind, you do not need 20 mind. You can get away with 10, you can get away with 15. I went with 20 because of my over-leveling. Endurance, you are gonna need endurance. However, it can be lower depending on the armor, as I'll speak about later. 60, solid. 60, you can run nearly anything you want. However, if you really wanted to, you could boost it to 70 and lower the strength. Strength does not, 100% does not need to be 80. Strength can be anywhere from 60 to 70. You'll get roughly the same damage numbers from 60 to 70 as you saw in the opening clip, and as you'll see at the end when I fight another main story boss to prove that the damage doesn't just work on open world bosses, as a lot of builds only show open world bosses, and I believe that open world bosses don't give a proper scaling in terms of how well your build works, as they feel more squishy to me. So, those are the stats. I will quickly show a brief respec into like level 150, just to show that the stats don't need to be mine. Vigor, the reason it's vigor, you want up 45, boosted with the talisman. Mind, you can leave at 10. Endurance, 55, you can go further than 55, you can go to 60. Strength 60 minimum, obviously, to use the weapon that I'll talk about. 65, solid choice amount. And then the only thing that you need to increase after that would probably be, you don't even need intelligence really, a little bit of mind if you wanted to, a little bit of faith. Yeah, so there's really nothing to it, right? 150 can be done. Those stats there would probably equal roughly similar damage to what you see in the beginning. It's only a 35 drop in my right armament damage. It's really nothing. It's only a 30 something drop in my left armament. Overall physical only drops by 6, and my FP only drops by like 26 points. It's really, really not detrimental if you choose to go with lower stats, as long as you reach the bare minimum, as I mentioned earlier. Now, first of all, we'll talk about talismans. So, for talismans, first one, 100% Radagon Source Seal. This is the butter. This is the go-to first seal, no matter what I do, no matter what build I'm doing. This will be my first seal. It is so easily obtainable. It's great. It boosts your fucking stats. It levels out everything. If I take it off, as you can see, 45 vigor now, 55 endurance, 75 strength. You put it back on, it boosts it, right? Majorly helpful. And the damage taken isn't detrimental whatsoever. Into the second slot, we're using Great Jar's Arsenal. However, Great Jar's Arsenal can be tweaked for Arsenal's Charm, or there's not much point to go for that instead. You may as well just go for Great Jar's Arsenal. However, in this spot, you can also use something else like Erdtree's Favor to boost your stamina more, as if you are going to use a lighter armor set that I will mention later on, you don't need as much equip load. You only need enough equip load to carry the 2 weapons. If you can carry the 2 weapons, you barely need any other equip load, and I'll talk about that in a minute. As for the third slot, Claw Talisman, necessary in the way I play. If you don't want to play with jump attacks, it will lower your damage a fair bit, but it's up to you. Like I said, it's tweakable. You'll see noticeable change, but you're meant to change it the way you want. This one, I usually keep the same. I will say this is not flexible. This, however, is the most flexible slot on the talismans list. The 4th slot is the most flexible. I run Ritual Sword Talisman at the opening of a boss fight. You jump in with your maxed out abilities that I'll show how to use in a minute, and you jump and you swing. You then back up, hopefully either your Mimic or your Black Tish summon, or whatever summon you're using, holds aggro, and you can swap it mid-fight, or you can leave it. It is not necessary to swap. Other options for here are the very, very viable options. If you're mobbing, Taker's Cameo. 100% amazing. You will be an immortal fucking hammer swinging monstrosity. You could even go for this one, Dragon Crest Shield Talisman, either the +1 or the +2. Physical damage negation, very good, very helpful. You can go for the Viridian Amber Medallion, very good, max stam, or Green Turtle Talisman. This is your flex slot. You change it depending on the way you want to play. If you want more FP to cast more spells, you can even run the Cerulean Amber Medallion. 100% up to you. Now that the medallions are out of the way, we will talk about weaponry. Armor will be last. As for weaponry, this is your lifesaver. This is the fucking monstrosity. This is godsend. The Giant Crusher. 100%. Obviously, look at that scaling. Look at the strength required. That stuff is top tier, right? If you had 2 of these, your damage would be even higher than shown in the clips at the beginning. It's insane. Very easy to get. The requirements not so, obviously, 60 strength. This is not an early game. Very good though. However, if you want an early game, you can go for Guts' Greatsword. Wherever the fuck that is. You can go for Guts' Greatsword. Very easily obtainable. 31 strength requirement. Not difficult whatsoever. Up until that point, you can run anything. You can run... well, you can't really run that up until it, but you can run the Grafted Blade Greatsword. Very good choice. Troll's Knight Sword. Anything that has decent strength scaling that you can run would work, right? You don't need anything amazing. Golden Halberd if you have 30. Commander Standard. A solid choice if you want to buff yourself with Commander Standard. However, just try and make your way up to any heavy weapon really until you get to the Giant Crusher. As for your secondary, if you can't get a friend or another account to get a second Giant Crusher straight from the beginning, the Prelate's Inferno Crozier, 100%. The Inferno Crozier, top tier secondary, not comparable, but well, actually very comparable to the Giant Crusher. I like to have it lower my damage for a reason I'll explain in a minute, because I'm stupid. That's the only reason it's stupid. Run Giant Crusher, dual Giant Crushers, your damage will be insane. Any seal will work. Clawmark, I chose Clawmark, easy to get. You can run Gravelstone, you can run Golden Order, you can run Godslayer. Any talisman will work, no matter what. That's it for equipment wise. Armor wise, now this is where I mentioned your weight load earlier. The reason I'm wearing this is my character is called Star Platinum. I went for JoJo vibe. I choose drip. I choose mad outfit over usefulness. I haven't got it to show you here, but you can get the Crows set, and the Crows set will boost your jump damage even further, and it requires absolutely no weight. You can run that, or you can go with the heavy build for poise. So if you wanted poise, boost your endurance further, lower your melee a bit, and run Leoniel set top tier. It's altered a bit here, so you should get 80, I believe, poise from this set, or 79 roughly. Leonel set, there's a bunch of others you can run. The Crucible Tree Knight looks nice, has decent poise. There's loads. I run this set because, as I said, Star Platinum, and I love the drip. Also, it has pretty decent poise for my mix and match build. The reason you want poise, however, poise is, if you don't know, what stops you. It's basically your stance. So if you have low poise, you will get staggered a lot, you'll get thrown around a lot, and your attacks won't follow through, so to speak. So if I was to go for here, and I was going to go for a heavy attack swing, which I can't show here, sorry. If you were going to go for a heavy attack swing, but you got hit mid-swing and you had low poise, you would cancel your attack and you wouldn't get the hit off, and that would be valuable HP dropping down the drain. If your poise is higher, your attacks will follow through and you won't get staggered nearly as much. Now that is it for equipment. That is it for everything regular wise. Now, incantations. Flame grant me strength. Top tier incantation, the only majorly FP inducing one that you will use. This will boost your physical damage and your fire damage. Fire damage we don't really care about, physical damage very much so. Then you have the Ash of War that is on these weapons. Now, the Ash of War on these weapons is the Royal Knight's Resolve. Royal Knight's Resolve increases your damage on your next hit by, I believe if it's still the same before the patch, 80%. People were abusing this with spells, but that got fixed in the most recent patch. However, on your melee weapons, still extremely viable. What you do is you switch over to your secondary, you apply, make sure you switch to your secondary first, you switch back to your primary, and you apply. And then you walk up to something, and you jump attack, boom. Both weapons swing down, the effect will go away, and you'll be doing massive damage as seen in the beginning clip. The reason you want to do your secondary weapon first is because it'll cancel it if you do your first one first when you put it on your back. It's very easy, just make sure you have this. That's the reason I said I run a different weapon, is so that I can distinguish them, because I'm stupid. However, if you're not stupid and you can just remember that you've pressed a button, just use 2 giant crushes, your damage will be much better. Anything else on the build that I need to cover? Run Godric's Great Rune. You can run Moog's Great Rune, and you can run Blasphemous Sky, the Serpent. You can run the Serpent Rune instead if you want. But yeah, otherwise, that is the build. Enjoy. I will be showing another clip of me fighting, spoiler, in 3, 2, 1. I'll be fighting Godfrey, the first Elden Lord, to prove that this can be used against an aggressive boss and a story boss, as I don't see enough people using story boss examples in their builds from what I've seen. However, there probably are people that do, as obviously story bosses are harder to beat. Something else you could use before is Exalted Flesh. If you pop an Exalted Flesh before a boss fight, you will be doing majorly increased damage, and is not even a joke. For a bonus tip, pointless to the video, if you run 10 intelligence and the stats I have, if you want to rune farm with this build, you can slap on the Stargazer heirloom and run the Radahn's Blade and farm the sleeping miners on the hill in Mogwin's Palace. Well, anyway, that has been my video. That has been my build. I'm going to leave you with a clip. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I don't believe in destiny, I just do what's best for me. Don't listen to my enemies, they're just full of jealousy. Yeah, this legacy, you gon' see what's left don't see success in me, you ain't seen the rest of me. I just wanna be the best at what I know, better than the rest, just watch me grow. Put me to the test and watch me go. This is my quest, I'ma make it known. They call me obsessive, oh I know. Call me selective with my notes. Call me aggressive with my flow. Call me offensive even though Joe, I ain't gonna lie, life's tough. Try to get by, life's rough. Try to do it right, it's not enough. Even though you try, you still mess up. But I'm still gonna fight for what I love. Still gonna die for what I love. Still gonna try, I won't give up. Still gonna fight until I've won. They say I'm way too obsessed and I've got nothing left. And I'm not quite there yet, but those words they'll regret. Cause I've got something left and I'm not giving in. I will not let them win. I won't stop till the end, no. Some injuries, mentally and physically. Studied them religiously, so